All right, everyone, let's get started. Thanks so much for joining us today. Appreciate your time. We're hosting the webinar. It's 2023, Modernize Your Data Platform with Confidence. And with me today, I have Ram Prasad, who is from our Solutions Engineering Group, and also Girish Bhatt, who is our Senior VP of Marketing, and they will be taking you through today's program. A couple things before we start. We will be taking questions, so if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or the QA. And then also we will be running a couple polls as well. So would be interested in some of the feedback that you give us from the polls. So with that, let's get started. Take it away, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks, Loretta. So before we get started, Ram, I'm going to put you on a spot. Perhaps you can introduce yourself a little bit. I know you're a fantastic solutions engineer at Acceldata. Perhaps you can share a little bit about your background.
Sure, Girish. Yeah, you didn't say that when we did a dry run yesterday, but
I'm full of surprises, Ram.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi all. Happy Thursday. So my name is Ram Prasad. I've been with Acceldata for close to a year now, and I have about 18 years of experience before with Acceldata, and most of my experience I've been with data. My previous domain was telecom. I used to run huge clusters which determine fraud in telecom world. Most of it is the underlying data structure. At that time, it was not called data engineering. We didn't had the fancy term data engineering. It was just how do I get data from all these machines into a database which can give me answers on the fraud analytics. So spent most of my time writing parsers, understanding how to bring all these data assets into data warehouses, experience in different RDBMS systems, data warehouses systems like Teradata. And then I jumped on the big data hype. So yeah, been with Hortonworks / Cloudera for about 6 years, where I used to run support, basically helping customers with their platform issues, understanding what's happening with their platform, how can they effectively run the system. So, and then here I am with Acceldata, basically working with customers. We are just helping customers to realize their true potential of the data, helping them solve the challenges with data, bringing them visibility into the issues that they face day in, day out. So it's been fun ride so far.
Exciting. So welcome. So in other words, you are an expert, and I'm getting what I call quote unquote a little bit of big data or data platform envy there, Ram, when I hear about all your background. So folks, I also have a tech background. Started doing tech many years ago, and along the way worked at different companies and different GTM roles, product roles, GTM roles. One of the main, so in case you're wondering, why are we talking about data platform modernization? And it's 2023, right? So isn't this something that someone started 30 years ago? Yeah, well, that in itself is a problem, right? So I read the statistic recently. I couldn't find it last night. Otherwise, I would have shared it with you. That someone said there's about $450 million spent in big data, data platform, databases, that ecosystem. Imagine it's a hundreds of billions of dollars are spent annually in things around data platform, not the overall data analytics and other industry, but the platforms, the databases it's in itself. And we hear many years ago, people started talking about digital transformation and business transformation, and a lot of and the root of it, or the foundation of many of those, was, even though everyone talked about applications, it was all based on data and data platforms. And fast forward 8-9 years ago, that's still one of the hottest topics everyone talks about. And our view is that this is an ongoing journey, and there's no clear cut. There's no one fine day when you say, hey, it's 2023, the platform modernization has happened, now we are going to do other things, right? Because the world is mixed, the world is hybrid, not only from a cloud perspective, but from how people are doing things. So that's why we wanted to talk about this topic. And again, our approach here is not to say, do this 5 things, do this 10 things to migrate or modernize your data platform. Rather, our approach is, how are some new solutions or categories helping you along your modernization journey. That's the lens we want to provide. And by the way, yeah, we do work with our partners, some of the largest global system integrators in the world, to help you along the journeys and to actually migrate you and modernize your platform. So in today's session, I'll provide the introductory part. I'll state the high level. I'll talk a little bit about at least what our customers have experienced as pain points and what are some of the benefits they've experienced from modern data platforms. That is pain points with the legacy platforms and how they're approaching it with newer platforms. And data observability has emerged as a new category, and we are glad to have pioneered the creation of that category. And we'll provide our lens of how data observability helps data teams, no matter where they are on their data platform modernization journey, whether they've decided to stay on a on-prem platform or they're migrating to cloud, or they've done it so, and then how could I do it in a hybrid form. So Ram will has two detailed demos today, one around data observability for things around established platforms like Hadoop. And then we'll also talk about how to do data observability for a cloud native platform like Snowflake today. So why don't we get started? Who is Acceldata? I briefly mentioned this. We are a 4.5-year-old startup. We pioneered the creation of data observability as a category, and we are the market leader in it. We are fortunate to have raised quite a bit of high value capital from leading tier 1 venture capitalists, such as Insight Partners, Lightspeed Ventures, March Capital, Industry Ventures, Emergent, and Sorensen and Sanibel. One of the key differentiators when I think about what do we do differently, right? Our customer success. Our customers use our platform at massive scale, and we are operationalized. Our platform is used every day by hundreds and thousands of data practitioners. And my customer success team also likes to point out that, Girish, the number you're saying here is it's too small. The number is actually higher when we say, what do we mean by observing 500 plus petabyte of data? And that's a large number, right? And we have customers, our customer use of our platform continues to increase. We are also have been fortunate that many large enterprises across all leading verticals, whether it's financial services, healthcare, telco, tech, analytics, have used our platform currently, as well as have been using it for 4+ years now. We are one of those startups. We didn't really have a so-called stealth approach to launching a product. Two months after we launched in 2018, we got our first customer win, right? So we always work with enterprise data teams to understand their pain points and provide the right solutions. So what we offer is a data observability platform that helps teams build and manage data products. And the way in which we do that is the platform helps you solve use cases around data reliability, operational intelligence, spend intelligence, which is now people call it as a cost governance or financial operations. And that's what we have, a single platform that works both for on-prem, cloud native, multi-cloud. That's really, which is kind of cool, I think. And our team, not just our leadership team, everyone in the almost everyone in the company has what I call the data DNA. They come from, let's say that their background includes stops at a lot of interesting data companies worldwide. All right, that's a little bit about Ram, Girish, and thanks for kicking us off, Loretta. Let's change gears a little bit because we want to understand a little bit about you. So I think we are going to now push out a poll. The whole idea here is to understand what data platforms are you currently using. Loretta? Yeah, what you should see on the screen is a Zoom poll that we have listed few here. We have listed 3 cloud native platforms in Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery, and also I threw in a couple of so-called used to be open source platforms like Hadoop and proprietary tools like Teradata. Oh, this is interesting. So Ram, what do you think?
yeah, very typical mix of our stack that we go see everywhere, right? So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the world is it's multi-cloud, or it's a hybrid world, right? So that's
Yep,
what
yep.
we are seeing. Interesting. All right. So should we move on then from the poll? I think this is a good data point for
I
us.
think everybody has responded, so I'm going to end the poll now. Actually, just I'll give you a couple more seconds in case someone hasn't answered that want to answer. We did get a couple more responses, and now I'll end the poll and we'll continue.
Perfect. Thank you, Loretta. All right. So what we have seen here is that we are seeing it's a hybrid world. What do I mean by that? We have participants today who are using Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery, that's cloud native platforms, as well as some of you have Hadoop and Teradata. I actually applaud you for saying that, yes, you're using Hadoop and Teradata. It's in some venues, people actually don't really raise their hand because, if you've operationalized your use cases with Hadoop and Teradata, it's kind of, it may be working reasonably well, but again, I applaud you for doing that. All right, it's good data. All right, I think we'll continue on, Loretta, if that's okay. All right, so wanted to quickly go through what I've heard from our customers as pain points or problems with legacy data platforms. High cost, the total cost of operations is off the charts. This is a consistent problem that I hear. Sometimes people ask me, oh, what does it mean? I thought I had an open source free license. Well, you had to maintain your systems, you had to patch the systems, or you had to support the systems, or the workloads were very slow. I'll give an example. We had a customer of ours, one of our customers actually, they were using a legacy platform, and only 1/3 of their team could actually use them in a 24-hour period. The system used to either crash or it just didn't give them the right analytics. I mean, imagine 66% of the team cannot use it. And they did not get the right support because either in some cases, what happens is the support costs exceed the cost of the license because you're held hostage by vendors masquerading as open source vendors, right? In reality, it's closed source software is what they sell. And a lot of these legacy platforms are not conducive to agile development environment. And first of all, if it works, you're great. And even backporting into legacy platforms is just not available. And then getting people to work on platforms that perhaps are being replaced or getting migrated away from, it's really, really hard. This is a common challenge that we hear from our customers. There is some flavor of this across every single data platform migration or modernization effort our customers have gone through. Obviously, there are benefits, right? So when I talk about reliable outcomes, what I mean is it's reliable data. So data is actually delivering what it's expected across the supply chain. Superior performance. I've talked about 1/3 of the time the team not being able to use it. And now they can use it. Not just because some of the newer platforms have auto scale, scale up, scale out, that sort of paradigms, but they can also develop the right apps or data products using CI/CD or DevOps like paradigms, and not just build, but also deploy and operationalize that. In other words, what you're getting is better value and better superior return on investment. So that's kind of the high level. So what are some of the approaches we are seeing from our customers? What we see is many of our customers or prospects may have a legacy platform. And sometimes it's not that they want to keep the legacy platform, they'll want to tweak or optimize the platform because it tries to do something, it solves some use cases or some problems for them. I've just listed a couple of vendors here. This is not meant to be exhaustive at all. And that's something that we see. Well, I have a Hadoop ecosystem, whether it's proprietary or open source like systems, and it's kind of working. I need to manage that better. I need to optimize it better. The next approach is people want to migrate to a true open source platform where you're not forced or locked into a particular migration path, or you won't get support or whatever it is, or there's no updates you get to the underlying software base. And the common ones I'm seeing are the 2 and 3, that's open source platforms, as well as migrating to a cloud platform. I've listed Snowflake, Databricks here. It could be a BigQuery, it could be Azure, whatever the cloud platform of choice you may have. But the reality, as what we are seeing, is that many customers have hybrid platforms. That is, they directionally, they may want to get to a cloud native only. However, operationalizing the use cases and the time to value to get there, and also monetize what they've already been doing, is just it's a multi-year project. So this is what we are seeing from our customers. We'll revisit this a little bit later as to where you are in your journey. So there is no perfect approach here. It just depends on your business needs. We have some customers who are optimizing their legacy platform, and they use Acceldata for that. And some are, they may say, okay, I'm going to bring on board Snowflake or Databricks or others, while, but at the same time, I want to stop my bleeding. It's kind of a break fix approach, but it works for them to keep their business operational. This is a classic data ecosystem chart that we use to discuss where are the potential challenges that may exist. Just because someone is migrating or modernizing their platform and moving to a Snowflake environment doesn't mean that their problems go away. Sure, you can scale up and down. However, the problems still continue to be there. What about the data quality or reliability issues? That doesn't go away. Just because something is in a cloud native platform, its availability may be slightly better. However, what about the cost implication? One of the common things we hear with a lot of cloud native platforms with a consumption-based pricing is you can poorly written SQL query can blow your budget in a matter of hours. You don't need to wait for days, right? There are cases where from our customers where a poorly written query consumed $200,000 overnight, and that blew their budget, right? So it's not just the focus on, hey, I'm going to this next shiny cloud native platform, but the fundamentals of data management, analytics, and observability still need to get done. So the way in which we look at it is, while you're migrating or modernizing your platform, you need to de-risk it. What do I mean by de-risking? Is there is inherent, it's not just sending data over or transforming the data over. What about data reconciliation? What about performance, pre-migration and post-migration? What about, are you doing things manually? I shudder. There are some companies, when I hear about this, there are some companies who still do things in a manual way. There are better options for you folks, right? So automate to the extent possible, automate the ones that are ready for automation. And that way you don't get into the manual troubleshooting issues. Cost, just because you're moving to a cloud native platform doesn't mean that you are immune to the cost implications. Well, I love consumption-based pricing models, but at the same time, once you, there are limited checks and bounds unless you enforce them yourself or you use an observability-like solution. So our friends at Gartner came up with, in partnership with us and others in the industry, they came up with this a new clarification to data observability. What Gartner has said recently is that data observability is not just about pipelines, but it's also about infrastructure. It's also about quality or reliability. It's also about the users. So, and what essentially, as it says here, it's as critical to the success of a modern data platform and analytics. And what's really cool about this is we have been talking about this for many years since our founding days. And what we offer to our customers is the data observability platform that's available both as a SaaS service option or as a self-hosted option, if that's the route you want to go. And as you see, we integrate with all the popular platforms, services, and tools, and we have a metadata layer that we use to create appropriate insights. And then we also have a concept of recipes and recommendations, and we automate the actions for you, and not just the alerting aspect of it. And we package them as 3 broad use cases around spend intelligence, which is also analogous to cost governance or financial operations governance. Data reliability, which is a lot more than just mundane data quality, which many of the data quality tools today are the emerging data observability tools. And then operational intelligence is where we see things around performance. How do I keep my platform up and operational? And that's one of the critical aspects of what we do, all under the single platform. So as I was saying, right, so this is the problem statement, and how does things around data observability help you? We can provide you insights into your spend so that you can proactively know how are you tracking, how are your queries performing, what are the poorly performing queries, and then you can make sure you don't blow your budget early. And what about your data quality issues? Is it a manual process, or do you really want to ensure reliable data as the outcome, in which case you want to automate things and you need a platform that helps you with automation as well. Before I hand off to Ram, this is what I wanted to summarize. So our platform provides you with the right solution, no matter where you are on your journey, whether you want, for business reasons, you may want to optimize your legacy platform. We can help you with that. Or you want to migrate to a new platform, or whether it's open source or cloud, in a hybrid or a cloud native format, we provide you the options as well. So that's part of the presentations I had before I pass on to Ram. I think we have a poll right now, isn't it, Loretta?
Yep, we have a poll. I'll launch it right now.
Yeah, cool. So I just want to understand where you are on your data journey. I forgot to put the 5th option. There may be another. I couldn't think of that. But the whole idea is that, are you sticking to your legacy platform? Are you migrating into an open source or cloud or hybrid? Interesting. We are starting to see some data come in. And majority of the folks are migrating to a cloud platform. And there's also few people who are on the hybrid platform. So I assume that means they're retaining their legacy platform and then doing something in the cloud.
Yeah, this is slightly interesting, right? I mean, one of the things we heard from, at least from our customers, is the reason some customers are moving away from, say, legacy Hadoop stack is they understand that it's just very complex to manage by themselves using open source. Or if they want to go to these vendors, it's extremely expensive, right? So that's where they are looking to, yeah, very, very interesting poll.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So just to repeat the data here, folks, 83% of you who participated in the poll are saying you're migrating to cloud platform, and 17% are saying, okay, hybrid platform. So that's yeah. So the intent to stay with the current one, perhaps one thing which will be interesting, Ram, is to understand, as part of the hybrid platform, is it the retaining the legacy platform and then migrating, right? So maybe there is a 17% of the attendees are thinking that way. So interesting, nevertheless. All right. So at this point in time, I'm going to hand the session off to Ram, who's going to give us the best demo ever on data observability for legacy stack as well as a cloud native stack, right, Ram?
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Off to you.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. Bear with me for a second. Okay. Girish, are you still seeing my screen?
Yeah, we see it.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. So hi all. Happy Thursday again. So like Girish mentioned in the previous slides, the data architecture in typical enterprises is complex, right? It's not simple. And literally before Hadoop, it was lot of people did not even dream of leveraging all these data that is coming from like sensors, constant streaming from IoT devices or web click analytics. All these things was just a dream. No one could even reach to that. And thanks to Hadoop, that actually enabled that option wherein we were able to realize the potential value from these data sets, right? So Hadoop, even though there are all these talks about Hadoop going away, it still stays in the stack in one shape or form, right? Either you go to AWS, use EMR, it's still a Hadoop stack running underneath. So what we do is we understand that and we acknowledge that fact. And then since most of us coming from the Hadoop background, we looked at the pain points that our customers go through as part of the Hadoop as part of their data stack. What we built is actually an observability solution from the Hadoop ecosystem, right? And that's the same product. We enhanced that to the cloud world because that's the transition, what we see, the journey of customers transitioning from the on-prem Hadoop ecosystem to the cloud solutions like Snowflake, Databricks, and GCP, other technologies. So what we give is we give you an observability platform. It looks into 4 pillars of your Hadoop ecosystem, right? One is your infrastructure, your platform, and your processing engines and your data itself. One of the big challenge that you see all the time with Hadoop ecosystem is if any one of this fails, your entire ecosystem fails. So it's extremely critical to understand what's happening in each one of these pillars. That way, at the end, when you process your data sets and give it to your internal business users, or if you are selling your data sets to the end customers, the data is certified, data looks good, and you are able to do all this in effective and a time effective and cost effective manner. So that's what I'll do a quick overview on our Hadoop ecosystem observability tool, which again, it's one single platform. Our product is a platform. We are not creating single individual products. Ours is a platform which can integrate with your legacy stack, with your new tools that are coming, that are evolving in the cloud worlds, like Databricks, Snowflakes, and the new technologies that are evolving. So we integrate with all these new technologies, and then we are evolving our platform to add more and more as we get into the future. So what I want to give you is a very high level overview on what and how we can actually help you with your, say, legacy Hadoop stack. So one of the big challenge with Hadoop is not one single product, right? It's an ecosystem. It consists of multiple open source projects that talk to each other and finally will actually deliver something for you. So the big challenge is when something fails in one of these individual project or a component, it's extremely difficult to figure out where something failed. What we give is, with our platform, we actually give you visibility into that. We not only tell you where it failed, we also have automatic remediation steps wherein it can self-heal by then reducing the time it takes to recover your service, and basically saving you a lot of time and effort. So that's the platform that we have built. A lot of expertise from many of our founders and engineers from the Hadoop world has gone into this product. So extremely successful across all our customer stack. So I'll quickly give you a high level walkthrough. Whenever we talk about any data ecosystem, it essentially boils down to 2 main components, right? One is your data lake or storage. The second one is your compute, right? Or we can call processing engines. So what we give is we give visibility into your, for example, your data lake, the components that serve your data lake. For example, in the context of Hadoop, it could be your name nodes, right? Data nodes. So what we do is we give you a detailed overview of how those services or components are working in your data lake, right? So we give a lot of analytics, we give a lot of insights, not just analytics, we give you insights when something is happening. And all these are correlated across the layers, right? Like, for example, your name node services, your underlying JVM and underlying infrastructure, the machines that are hosted itself. Maybe you have an IO problem, right? All those events, signals are correlated and actually presented you in a way where you will be able to take actions immediately instead of doing a lot of exploration and trying to figure out where something went wrong. Again, there are a lot of information available to you here. Very, very useful tool. We have customers running 2000 nodes clusters very smoothly without a single severity one issue from more than a year, because our product can actually help you optimize, run your Hadoop stack very, very smoothly. And the other important observability point that we give is a lot of customers, they don't understand how their data lake is. There is a famous term in Hadoop world, we call it data swamp, because the data lake is so cheaper. It's on-prem, you have commodity hardware, people just start throwing all these data sets into the data lake, and it reaches to a point where you don't even understand what kind of data sets you have in your data lake anymore. You don't know what's useful, what is being used, what is being not used, and basically it's a big swamp. So what we give is actually give you a visibility into your data lake, tell you who are the users who are using the data lake, what are the different types of files that you have in your data lake, what are the typical file sizes, because this is one of the big common problem for Hadoop is your small file problems, right? So most of the platform falls flat if you have too many small files, and it's extremely tricky and difficult to find out. What we have is a very simple and intuitive user interface. With click of a button, you will be able to exactly go to the specific files, specific users who are actually generating these small files. Very, very simple. With click of a button, you will be able to answer that question, which is not possible to answer without investing significant engineering effort before. And another important aspect we also have in a data lake is the temperature of your data. How much of my data am I actually using it, right? Is all my data being used? Do I have some data which is not at all used? So this is one of the important aspects, specifically for customers who are in the journey when they are migrating to the cloud. So this question like bugs them, right? Like, hey, should I move all my data sets to the cloud? How much of my data is actually being used by business users, right? So we have this option wherein you can quickly understand what's your temperature of your data, which are all the files that are being actively used, who are the users using it. Very, very quick and simple. Click of a button, you'll be able to answer that question, right? Girish, anything you find interesting? Anything you want to add or dig deep into?
I think this is good, right? So we can also switch to the other demo and then get a sense from the audience if they want to get a little bit of a deep dive.
Absolutely. Yep. So again, switching gears, we understand that you are in the journey, moving from Hadoop stack, maybe Snowflake. We saw in the first poll, I think more than 90% of the audience said they have Snowflake in their data stack, right? So I would like to present a quick one slide on what the challenges or what we have seen in Snowflake. The biggest advantage of Snowflake is it's very, very easy to get started, right? So you click a button, you're able to spin up a warehouse, run your queries. But the risk, the contrary to the benefit, the risk is, since it's very easy to click, sometimes it's difficult to understand how the things are working underneath. Am I actually configured some of the knobs properly? Am I following the best practices? So these are some of the things that you don't have visibility out of the box from Snowflake. And the other important aspect, specifically not just Snowflake, in the cloud world, is the near unlimited infrastructure, right? So people think that, hey, I have this nice query which used to run on-prem. I just take this query, throw it on Snowflake, it just runs, right, magically. But the problem is, once you see the bill, that's where the issue starts from, right? You get a bill shock. So understanding and providing you a visibility into, okay, how much this query is going to cost me, and if some of these parameters are changing, is it going to impact my cost, right? Understanding those correlations is very, very important. And there are a lot of features gets added into Snowflake, right? I mean, cloud technology, the builds in cloud is very, very fast. There is innovation is very accelerated. So you keep adding new features. It's difficult to understand, maintain the expertise, and knowing the best practices. Again, that's a risk from this technology perspective. And the last thing is the consumption-based pricing, right? So if you have a huge account, org level Snowflake account, which you are managing. So how do you divide that? What's the bills? What are the budget constraints? Which team is using what, right? Having visibility into all these things will actually help. And finally, give you, our platform actually will give you all these data points and insights where we can actually effectively use the Snowflake. And one of the important features we just rolled out 2 releases back is not just we give you insights, we can take proactive steps. So like Girish mentioned, if there is a rogue query which is going to cost you $1,000 overnight or $10,000 overnight, we can actually stop that before before giving you a $10,000 bill. So we will be able to give you that proactively. So let me switch gears, show a quick demo of what we do in terms of Snowflake observability. So the first thing what we do is very high level. So we give you a complete spend, right? Where you are seeing the cost, which are the users, which are the accounts. We give you contract details, what's the percentage of the credits you are already consumed. We give you forecasting, right? Are you going to lose? Are you going to stay till end of the year, or you're going to run out of your credits in the middle of the year, right? So we give you visibility into that. And the other important aspect is basically giving you visibility into queries, right? Which are my top performing queries? Okay, why is this query costing me $136? So what we do is we give you very deep insights into the queries itself. So you'll be able to quickly understand if there is a what's happening actually in my query. You will be able to click a button and basically understand how this query ran. And this is one of the big challenges in Snowflake, because Snowflake, every query is independent. So what we do is we take all these queries, we uniquely fingerprint, identify, understand what is happening in each query at each runtime, and give you very detailed insights. For example, in this case, if you see, I'm saying that, hey, this query ran 1,000 plus times. I found this, and average time it takes to run this query is this much, and an estimated cost is this much. And then it will actually tell you every time when it ran, how much time it took. And then not only that, we also give you a lot of insights into the deep insights into, for example, how many rows it produced, how many rows it scanned, how many partitions it scanned, what was the cost, what was this query ran with, right? Is it ran with a small warehouse or a large warehouse? Suddenly you can understand if some of your team members are increasing or decreasing your warehouse sizes. You will be able to quickly see and figure out exactly what changed between the successive runs. Again, we have a lot of interesting things to show, and we will be happy to have a demo one-on-one with you, and give you more and more insights into this. Girish, anything you want to add? Anything
It's every 3 weeks I look at the details. I find a wealth of lot more detailed information.
Absolutely.
This is good. So that is on the cost side of the house, right? So do you want to quickly show what we have on the other aspects for Snowflake?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of things what we look at from the Snowflake is, one is cost, right? And the other one is your query performance, right? How is your query, just what we saw in our Query Studio, understanding what are your queries, what is my latency, what is my load on my warehouses, right? Giving you visibility into that. And then also giving you basically a quick understanding of how effective my warehouses are, right? Is all my sizing of my warehouses effective, or in my case, it's all underutilized. So maybe you are in overutilized space, right? Where you might need to bump up your warehouse sizes, or you might have a lot of warehouses in the ineffective quadrant. So we have all these insights, and we actually give you recommendations. What do you do with that, right? So this specific warehouse, we want to merge. And we also give you an action right out of the box. So click of a button. If you need to downsize, we will be able to downsize the warehouse directly from our interface as well.
Nice. And I saw we also introduced chargebacks a few months ago, right? So
absolutely spot on. Very interesting, right? Yeah. So this is one of the challenge a lot of organizations face, is when they have a corporate level account with Snowflake and there are different teams basically consuming the credits. So it's actually difficult for the individual teams themselves to figure out, hey, am I actually going to run out my budget what is my budget, how am I trending. So we have the visibility to actually create a very nice view of your org chart, org structure, and then basically give you visibility into individual departments, how much it's actually costing you every month, and a lot of insights that we can provide as part of our chargeback option.
Nice, nice. How about reliability?
Yeah, very good question. So yeah, one of the thing what we all spoke about was at the end of the day, all this is to basically get data from point A to point B with a trusted check mark on that, right? So that you can actually use that data to either use to your ML, or you want to give it to your dashboards, right? So what we have is, again, a very interesting module called a data reliability module, wherein we give you, again, at a very high level, a complete visibility into how are my assets used versus reliability. So for example, so in this case, I have a lot of my assets which are low usage, no one is using it, they just throw it on a cloud, and then the reliability score is really low because there are no data quality checks on top of that, right? So we give you a lot of insights into which are the assets which have a lot of reliability issues. We provide options to manage your own rules. We have options from starting from low code, no code, all the way. You can write your Python checks, you can write Java code. So we support data engineers who doesn't want to write code using no code, low code, or we want data engineers say, hey, I want to write a complex business rule. So we support the entire spectrum that is available in our product.
Nice. So one question for you. So I know maybe I'm stealing my audience's thunder here. I should not do that. So in the chart that you showed, right? So how should I think about the kind of watermarking the color, where it is green versus, I guess, salmon color, right? So how should I what's my takeaway when I look at the quality here?
Absolutely, right? So basically what this 4 quadrants mean is, for example, if you have any assets in my high usage, low reliability quadrant, what that means is I don't have any data quality checks on top of that, right? And that data is not reliable. I mean, it might work, it might not work. You don't know because you never tested it, right? So and it's being used very heavily because that's why it is in the high usage quadrant. So it means that your end users might be receiving bad quality data. So it might be now or tomorrow, you might get a mail saying that, hey, why is this column null? Or why do I see duplicate rows? Or why is this phone number with 14 digits when it should be right 10? So all these things which you can catch as part of your pipelines. So you will be able to quickly understand before it gets into your end user's dashboard or ML model, which gives you wrong recommendations, right? So
yeah, no, cool. No, I appreciate that. No, that's cool. Okay, so what else do you have for Snowflake for us?
Awesome. Yeah. So the other important aspect, the final aspect I want to talk to you about is the admins, right? So one of the big problem the Snowflake admins have is, so like we discussed in the benefits and risks of Snowflake, Snowflake keeps churning a lot of features, right? Sometimes you might need to turn on, sometimes need to turn off. There are some niche parameters which can actually help you either increase the cost or run a query faster. So some of these things, it's extremely difficult for someone to keep track of it, looking at the documentation, what's changing. That's where we can help. So what we do is we have a complete guardrail section wherein we will alert you all the different best practices that Snowflake recommends. And as soon as we see there are going against the best practices, we give you a violation, we give an alert, and that alert we actually integrate with a lot of ticketing systems, like we can file a Jira, or we can give you an email or a Slack notification. So you can quickly figure out what is actually happening and take corrective measures. So a lot of interesting things for admins. We track who are the users, is there any security vulnerabilities that are coming as part of, like, if someone has not integrated a two-factor authentication, we will be able to give you visibility into that. If someone is using an old legacy driver, which might not be having all the fixes, we will actually give visibility into that. All these things. So we thought this end to end, right? We want to, at the end of the day, you want to have your data very effectively. And to get to that, you need to use your legacy stack. You need to use your Snowflakes effectively in a cost-effective manner. Our platform, the single platform, can actually help you with all these dimensions and layers, so that at the end of the day, you can deliver data to your end customers in a cost-effective, time-effective, and a quality-effective manner.
Yeah, and the more I look at this, I like the user analytics dimension here, where it's not just for the user, but you can go across personas, so to speak. So one of the common things is, I know we have the alerting capability and recommendations, because end of the day, people, data teams and IT folks want to be notified of something, and then recommendations or next steps. Maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Absolutely. What we call monitors. So basically, we monitor your Snowflake warehouses or your Databricks notebooks, right? So we have what we call stack monitors. We have 200 out of the box monitors, which can give you a lot of these checks, proactively preventing you from certain things happening, or alerting you when certain things are happening. So, or if you want to create your own monitors, we expose all our data for users, so they can create, the advanced users of our platform can actually create these different monitors, alerts, and then they will be able to integrate with all the notification channels. It can be either a simple Slack message, or it can be an email, or if you want to be fancy and you have some systems, you can call a webhook and do much more automation. So a lot of our customers love, because we give the automation hooks. Because we are an engineering company, we think about automation all the time. So we have, the entire platform is built for automation and effective development of the code.
Yeah, no, that's great. 200 plus out of the box, because I know some of our customers and other enterprises in the call are thinking, well, I need 10,000. So and I like the flow you have there. It's almost like, it's one of those orchestration flows is what you're having with if then else, if t like rule setting there. That's easy. It's very intuitive and logical in its approach there. Yeah,
absolutely.
So one last question. You focused a little bit on the platform and Snowflake, and then I know some of our audience also are using Databricks. Is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Good question. Right. So yeah. So yes. So the way Girish and me, we both discussed from the beginning, right? Because we wanted to have a platform which can integrate to all these different technologies, and our platform is built in such a way that as and when new technologies and new demand evolves to these technologies, we will be able to quickly integrate it. Yes. So we do have a solution for Databricks, wherein we give you visibility, just like how we give visibility into warehouses in Snowflake. In Databricks, we give visibility into your jobs. We actually tell you what are the different clusters that you are using. We give you recommendations, right? Hey, you are using this specific job with actually a lower configuration, which might cost you more money, runs in more time. You will be able to run with, say, excess small 5D cluster, wherein you will be able to run this in half of the time, save more money, right? So we will give you all those insights straight out of the box. And yeah, Databricks demo, I think, yeah, we should definitely have another webinar, because that has a lot of interesting things that we can show.
Yeah, no, I think this is awesome, because you wrapped up at least this part. I'm not saying it's a wrap up on this, but at least you talked about Databricks, Snowflake, and then Hadoop, because our audience today said they use all those three. That was great. So in other words, it's a single platform. All this they're really integrations for us, and we bring in the platform specific way of packaging, whether it is a cluster or a warehouse or an account or however they represented that. So, okay, yeah, there you go. You are ahead of me here.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, like we said, we understand the complex data stack of customers. So what we do is we constantly add new sources, we constantly give all the new integrations. So yeah, we support Mongo, we support Kafka, we support Teradata, we support Redshift, right? Oracles, RDBMSs. So if you want to do data reliability checks on that, we support all those as part of our platform. So we integrate well with those legacy stack as well.
Cool. Awesome. I think that was a great demo. It is around the world in 25 minutes. That was awesome.
Yeah. I wish we had more time to show you a lot of the cool features and all the bells and whistles we have. But I would love to spend time knowing some of the customers' complex issues, and then we'll be happy to do a personalized demo and show you all the things that we can do and the challenges we can solve with customers.
Great.
Cool.
So we do have a couple questions here from the audience that I will ask you. One of them is this product looks like it has a lot of functionality, obviously. What is the implementation time that it takes? Because as you mentioned, everybody's enterprise data architecture is very complex. And so is this something that's just going to take a long time to implement? Kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, very good question, right? Yeah. So from a technology standpoint of it's very, very simple. We have Kerberos, everything is we have Kubernetes, everything is containerized. It gets deployed very quickly. Most of the time, the time it takes is only because when you are deploying this on-prem or a secured environment, there are a lot of approvals and processes that we need to go through. So as long as we can get those approvals quickly, we'll be able to deploy this in days or even hours if we get the approvals. So I can give you one example. It's one of the big telco in US. So they had a major outages every week with one of the legacy Hadoop platform, and they were literally down every other day, right? So we got in contact with them. They saw our product. They said, hey, why don't you deploy the product? They got all the approvals in a day, right? So we were able to deploy this product on Friday, and by Monday, we figured out that they had almost 10 petabytes of unused data, which is causing a lot of pressure on name node. We were able to solve their problems in less than a week, right? So it all depends on the approval processes. Our technology is very, very flexible, and we can deploy in days and hours based on the approval methods.
Yes.
Hope that answered the question.
Yeah. So Ram, on that, in that case, there was an inherent on-prem deployment where you need the role access, the login credentials, access control. I think that those are all valid points. And then if someone is using Snowflake, say for example, how does that factor?
Very good question. Sorry, I missed that part. Yeah, absolutely. So if it is Snowflake, we just need a couple of credentials, which again, we store in a very secured Keycloak environment. You connect it, you'll see insights in minutes, right? It just take a couple of minutes, put your username and password, sign up, and then boom, you will see the insights flowing into the data immediately.
Thank you.
Great. Yep. If any of the audience has any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat and the QA. We can take a couple more before we close. I think in the meantime, Girish, you have a couple next steps.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty straightforward, folks. So first of all, thanks for your time. Right. It's what we wanted to do is to kind of recap what we are hearing from our customer base and what are some of your options. And for us, you have a few things. I didn't list a whole lot of things here. I think Ram's demo was awesome. So if you need a one-on-one demo, do feel free to reach out to us. And we participate at many events. This is a virtual event. We are going to be at Gartner 2 weeks from now. We do events around the country. Just visit our website, acceldata.io/events. We keep them current. So that's what I wanted to say. And visit our website, right? So we all live in the digital virtual world mostly, right? So it's we are all one click away, literally. So let us know how we can help, and if you need more guidance, we can bring in some of our system integrator partners as well to help you navigate this complex data platform modernization or data migration journey that you're on currently. Just let us know. And there are certain things we do very well, which is data observability. There are other things which we don't do. We'll refer you to the right relevant ecosystem partners. And also, if you want to reach out to talk to some of our customers, we facilitate that as well.
Great. All right. Well, we don't have any more questions. So everyone, appreciate the time. We'll conclude the webinar now. Again, very much appreciate you giving us almost an hour of your day. Your time is super precious. Thanks to Ram and Girish. And again, Ram, great demo. And if you have any questions, visit our website and or contact us as well. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye.
Thanks, team. Bye.
Guys.